Hi there, I'm Larry DeLuca. I'm an emergency and critical care physician here, and I work at the University of Arizona. I have seen at the front lines what happens when we slash Medicaid and Medicare, because we played that game in Arizona in the mid-2000s. When Jan Brewer came to power, she decided to balance her budget on the backs of my patients. My emergency department was flooded with people who formerly had controlled disease, but now we're out of control. My patients were suicidal because they couldn't talk to their psychiatrists. They had heart failure because they couldn't see their cardiologists. They were short of breath because they had renal failure and had lost access to their nephrologists. When Jan Brewer wisely accepted the Medicaid expansion, she reached across party lines and did a smart and nonpartisan thing that helped all the people of Arizona. We put over 100,000 people back on insurance, and I'm still feeling the ripple effect to today. So what I say to Representative McSally is, why do we need to repeat history when we're all young enough to not only remember it, but have lived through it? We know what happens when we slash these benefits. As long as the Emergency Medicine Treatment and Labor Act, known as EMTALA, which was made into law in 1996, continues to exist, every citizen in this country is guaranteed access to a medical screening examination and stabilizing treatment, so long as they just show up in an emergency department. But there's a catch. Regardless of their ability to pay, so they can still get a bill. Now there's a second catch. It turns out that if I've got a controlled disease like HIV or diabetes or high blood pressure, it's a lot cheaper to control that disease out in the outpatient setting than it is to lose my insurance, lose the access to my doctor, and only come to the emergency department when I've got a life-threatening emergency, a heart attack, a stroke, diabetic ketoacidosis, or an opportunistic infection of HIV/AIDS that should never happen in the 21st century. So when we cut back the insured, we don't actually cut cost because we don't make people healthier. All we do is shift cost, and we take care that could have been much more affordable and we make it much more expensive. And in addition to that, we stress our emergency departments and our hospitals, and we take away the ability of those hospitals to care because we take away their revenue. The patients don't get better because they don't have insurance. They come in sicker, but with no way to pay for the care that the federal government in EMTALA mandates they receive. So if you really want to improve care for everybody and you want to make healthcare more affordable, making inexpensive primary care more affordable and keeping people out of the hospital is the way to do it.
Thank you,
so
Doctor.
Thanks a lot.